Make sure we're starting the
Ken,
podcast
10 minutes ago.
Yep.
and then we want to know why Ken was insistent on putting a finger in Brian's ass. And here we are at Murder Moose, a horror podcast, part of the Slash and Cast podcast network.
It's in the game.
And it's in Brian's ass, like everyone else's today, because we decided that with his old man boner pills that we could just stick a finger up Brian's ass instead, and he's good. So
Brian's hair looks awesome.
Ugh,
Is it just down today?
Shit. It's just down, yeah.
It looks great.
He had the bubonic plague, and so he's been recovering.
I had some herp. I had some massive fucking herp for about a week.
You had a really bad outbreak of herpes for a week?
Yeah, something. I don't know. It was all up in my fucking throat, and
I mean,
it was awful.
How are you getting? I mean, you are eating a lot of pussy that is covered with syphilis. If you're doing it like that,
all that imaginary snatch.
Brian's eating so much imaginary pussy that he got herpes.
Snatch.
I mean, what is it, Ken? What is it? Snatchy Lala, or is it
Snatchy? Yeah, is one of my characters that I use across the board on a lot of video games.
Yep.
Snatchy.
Yeah. Ken is a
tasty.
A delinquent.
She is a delinquent. I mean, that's why she gets along with us, because she's a delinquent. We're all delinquent. Would you stop it?
No.
Not you. I'm yelling at the poodle, who's just sitting there smacking me, going, "Daddy, I want treats. Treat, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy." And I'm just like, "No, Zelda, you can't have treats." And then she just stares at me. So, how the fuck are you? Brian was sick all week and missed Cuckoo, and I
liked it though. I watched it. It was cool.
And
it was something.
Ken wasn't a big fan, and
that's okay.
I decided it was a fairy tale, and then Dan Stevens is awesome. That was kind of the conclusion that came out.
That's probably why I like this. I just like him. I
Dude,
really do.
His terrible German accent is so wonderful, that entire film. And then and it was then I spent a good part of the podcast trying to figure out why the little sister was Asian when nobody was really Asian in that, including.
And I kept explaining.
But she was she was the monster lady's baby, and so she should have been like Village of the Damned Child looking, not like Asian looking, and it was just, I don't know. I did like that movie though. It was just, I don't know. I thought I was telling Brian before you got on, I like this movie a lot better. Oddity. But yeah. Brian had to cancel his singing debut as a zombie, which is a bummer.
Yeah, I'm very bummed.
So when's the next show going to be then? Do you guys have another one planned? Oh, on Halloween?
On Halloween, yeah. I think we have one before that, but I'm just going to focus on, because I would have only sang like really 2.5 songs anyway.
Yeah.
That last night, because I'd only had really like 2 rehearsals with them.
Yeah.
So we would have had 3 vocalists on stage the whole time, because we have a girl, Ashley, that sings with us.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know what, I'm sick, so I'm not even gonna try. If I was gonna feel up to it, I was gonna at least go and watch the merch table.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, and apparently there was nobody there. It was just like, it was dead. It was because the show got changed, because we were supposed to play with green jello, whatever you want to call
them. Yeah.
But they had to cancel because they were sick. Apparently something going around, some herp, and they had to cancel. So that changed the whole show dynamic, and there was like nobody there apparently.
Oh.
So I kind of wish I was feeling better, because it would have been like the perfect opportunity to just fucking get on stage and basically just have a practice show. But oh well. We have one more show, but I think I'm just gonna focus on getting ready for Halloween and just make my debut on Halloween.
Yeah.
And then by then I'll just be able to sing everything, and that way all Casey has to do is worry about playing bass.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Your female singer isn't a Scientologist, is she?
No, we didn't. I don't know.
You
She's
didn't
really
go
cool.
you didn't go.
She's
You,
really
you didn't
fun.
go. You didn't go the Lincoln Park route. Is what I'm
No,
joking about.
Yeah.
Ken, besides getting busy, what's been busy?
Swerve. She got her swerve on. All right.
I'm getting ready to go back to the States for a bit, and I've got a bunch of family coming in town while I'm there. And yeah, I've finished one of my giant Lego sets that I've had here for months that I
What'd you
brought up
put
from the States.
together?
And it's one of the
What was
city
it?
places. So it's
Oh.
got like a dance studio and an apartment and a restaurant, like all kinds of shit. And it's really cool. It's
I
huge.
have a
And I
Lego
finished
set
that.
too.
Which one?
I have Central Perk.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's a
I need to
cute
get.
one.
I know. I want to get the apartment building because I'm a huge Friends nerd.
Yeah, I think they're still available. They haven't
Yeah.
retired it yet, but so I did that, and I've been reading again. I finished Throne of Glass, and I've started. It's part of my smut collection. There's no smut in this one that I just finished,
Yeah. Okay.
but
Man, it is amazing because like there is a total separate part of the internet, especially where you women have found like you've made your place of like we love smut and we love fantasy, so we love smutty fantasy, and it's just like it's like a cult at that point. You guys are like, must read more smut, must read more smut, must read more smut, and then like just crazy things happen, and then like it's always like what I hear all the time is like, this was like these characters do these bad things and this bad things and then bad things and bad people, and I'm just like, why do you guys keep reading it with all this?
but here's the thing. So like the last set of smut that I read, for those of you that are listening, yes, I fall into the cliche, whatever.
True crime and smut.
No, the Court of Thorns and Roses franchise, which I fucking love, even though her smut writing is not that great until the most recent book.
Yeah.
But like she first has smut feelings for one person, and he does end up being a piece of shit. But the person that she falls for is like the sweetest being. So it's not so much like he's terrible and I can't help myself. So
I still think my favorite Kin thing is when she goes off about watery bowels, and I just like
oh yeah. My bowels became watery. My breasts became heavy. And you're like, dude, what the fuck?
I don't get it, and I think most of that is dudes writing smut about women. And
no, she's a woman that writes
it.
But yeah, now the one with dragons and stuff, her smut is much better. But I guess she's written like regular smut in the past. But I'm curious to see what happens with this one if there is smut.
Does this smut get turned into Netflix shows? Is that how you?
They've talked about making of Court of Thorns and Roses into a show. Like I think that Hulu owned the rights to it, but they're really wanting HBO to get it because if HBO gets it, it'll actually be good. And it would really need to be HBO probably that would grab it.
I mean, Hulu
but I
could
don't
do
know
whatever
if I'd watch it.
Hulu could do whatever the fuck they want, but I mean, it's like to be fair,
isn't Hulu owned by like ABC and
Disney,
part of the Disney thing?
Disney and yeah.
But
go to HBO.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably better, but like the only people that actually have like actual broadcast rules are like the net, like over the air things. So like ABC, CBS, and shit like that. You can do whatever the fuck you want on USA. It's just then no one would advertise on USA. Like no one's stopping you from putting on.
Does
like
USA still exist?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because wrestling's on USA again, isn't it? One of the shows
for
SmackDown
a while, and then it's going to Netflix. But I think SmackDown's coming to USA after Raw leaves USA.
Yeah. Speaking of wrestling, I briefly learned a little bit about the Katie Vick lore. That's come to light, I guess. Something about Kane, like the story of him killing a girl or something.
They had very
because
odd stories.
That documentary is out, so people were learning about it, and Hardy, his wife, I follow her on TikTok because she does a lot of Halloween stuff and she's got Gothic Baby and everything.
Yeah.
And she was like learning this lore, and I was like, what? And then I kind of looked it up and I was like, oh, that's awful. I don't like this at all.
Dude,
So
I
wrestling is
mean,
weird. No
that
offense.
guy is the mayor of Knoxville, right? Like, and
Yep.
then like a complete MAGA ass hat and like a despicable human being. And it's kind of like, so now every time I see him anywhere, I'm like, you suck, Glenn Jacobs. You suck.
Mhm.
So yeah. I have to say, Brian, I know you played this. I started playing RoboCop yesterday, and my whole thing
Yeah, I
is
saw that.
I just sit there and I quote. All I do is talk about shooting dicks the entire time because that's all you have to do is RoboCop. You even get an achievement in that game for shooting people in the dicks. So,
Dude, I
like,
would kill it because I always end up accidentally shooting penis every game. Like
so you
that
should
ends up being my aiming target. I don't know why.
you should pick it up, Ken. It's like on sale for like
It's a
$20.
blast.
Yeah, and
It's
it's
a
the guys who made
blast.
that. Dude, that game I like significantly better. I bounced off the Terminator game they made way faster, but the RoboCop, I'm just like walking around going, "I will shoot you in the dick," nah, nah, nah,
Yeah.
and it's just like going on.
Did you notice how absolutely just going through the motions, just okay, I'm getting a fucking paycheck, I'll read these lines Peter Weller did. Like the voice work is not good, but it adds to the charm of the
Yep.
game
Yep.
because you can tell he probably just read these lines while he was sitting at his fucking like dining room table eating a fucking Philly cheesesteak.
Well, I
Just
mean-
like, you know, dead or alive, you're coming with me.
I mean,
it's like whatever.
It's that weird
Like, it's
oddity
so
of
fucking
how
good.
RoboCop is that thing where you're like, yeah, he isn't supposed to have emotion, so it's like there's like too much of it or too like yeah. But the game is
Right.
fucking fun as shit. But like,
It's so fucking cool.
yeah, it's so B movie and it's just
Shooting
embraced.
someone in the face is so
Yeah.
satisfying in that.
Their
movie.
heads
Or
explode,
dick.
but I'd rather just shoot them
their
all.
heads
And
just go bam. Like it's like the fucking game is a whole fucking like really really bloody Gallagher experience for me. Just fucking
Yeah,
heads
instead of-
fucking exploding over and over. It's
instead of
fantastic.
watermelons exploding, it's people's heads.
Yes.
No,
Awesome.
the game has been cool. Ken, I was saying that I asked Brian. Brian has also not seen The Substance, and he needs to go see that, and you both need to see that. And at some point, I would like to talk about it in the podcast when it comes on streaming. But holy shit, I just keep seeing people. It's so fun watching people come out of that movie and like with their insane reactions because that movie is so insane. And
Yeah, it looks really good.
yeah. So, do we have any idea? I mean, we're going to dive into Oddity here in a little bit, but do we have any idea what we're going to talk about next week? Like,
I don't know. Let's
I don't
Okay.
know.
talk
I'd be down
Oddity.
for looking at Caveat maybe by the same
you know,
director from this.
Yeah, same
if-
guy.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
we
if that's
can-
what you guys want to do, or we can look at something else. I don't care.
We'll look into it. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so we're going to talk about Oddity from this year, 2024. And it is this movie it got on my radar because of there's one aspect of the plot that like I think got a lot of attention, which is just the wooden doll man thing part of it, which is I probably because it's the most unique part of this whole film. But I really dig this. Ken, do you want to read us a synopsis of this film and tell us about it?
Sure. A psychic medium attempts to uncover the truth behind her sister's murder at the site of the crime.
So, yeah, that's a good like this isn't a super. It's a weird like it's not complicated, but then there are complications in it that occur. But like you think it's one thing and it's not.
I
And
don't know.
also-
I felt it was I really enjoyed it. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but I found it exceptionally predictable.
Yeah. I don't think I picked up everything that you did, but I kind of like got assumptions. Like we're gonna obviously be doing spoilers, so whatever. And there's the things like I kind of knew that the husband was a shitball. I mean, you kind of he's one of those actors that you just sit there from the beginning. You're like, oh, this guy is a complete garbage human being. Oh, okay. And
He
then
moved a woman in to his house that his wife was murdered in like less than a year.
That they were putting together, building
sorry,
together.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a fucking shitbag.
then you figure out later on that he it was all his own like hubris. Like it's his hubris that was like, oh, this bitch couldn't like never not love me because my dick's so good. I'm a doctor and my dick's so good that so I just had to murder her or get her murdered. And it's just like, I mean, obviously the guy's an arrogant asshole. That's how that like the ending of the movie is, right? Is like him being an arrogant asshole who like sits there and goes, I'm gonna ring this bell, bong, and then gets a little, murder killed by it. But I do like the setup of like this like woman who's in this house and this murder gets happened, and then like the sister is like, you know what they do, Ken? They try to throw you a curveball in this film where they're like, oh, look at the sister, she's creepy, and she's got the she's got the doll that is quite creepy and whatever, and so they're like kind of like are leading you to think that no, maybe the sister is a little diabolical. No, the sister's not diabolical. The sister's just
I
like,
never thought of the sister
I didn't
as
think that
diabolical.
one time at all.
Yeah.
I think they
Yeah.
were trying to get you to believe that, like with the stuff and like her showing up, like I don't like, because they run the husband runs into the sister's shop, right, and is like, oh yeah,
Let's talk about that really quick. I'm totally interrupting you while you're trying to talk about that. I understand that, but he walks into the shop, hands her the eye of the man that supposedly killed his wife, knowing that he is not the man that killed his wife, and hands it to her, knowing that she has these psychological powers to be
Well, he
able to
just-
read the items.
Right. He doesn't believe that though.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like it's evident
Right.
he doesn't. But it is
still,
kind of
like,
strange that he would do that.
yeah.
I thought the same thing. I was just like, what is this fucking asshole? And he
No,
is.
it's arrogance,
yeah.
right? Like I said, like
It is
it's
wild arrogant.
his
Yeah.
whole character is arrogance. It's like
Yeah.
I said, he kills his wife because he was gonna leave her, but he's like, oh, she wouldn't be able to live without me anyway, so I'm just gonna have her taken out by this creepy
Pretty
ass
much.
orderly, which is, yeah, I mean it's arrogance.
Yana
101.
really lucked out a lot.
Yeah.
Honestly, like she really lucked out pretty big time.
I mean,
Mhm.
I have to ask though, like,
she would have been dead next.
man,
He would have killed her too.
probably.
He would
I
have
mean,
killed her too.
It would have come across to something, right? Like it would have been like, oh, okay, you're gonna, yeah, okay, you're not
He would
good
have met
anymore.
somebody else.
Yeah, he was a scumbag who he's one of those doctors that just like is like, oh, my shit don't stink because I'm a doctor, even though he's not like he's a psychiatric doctor, not like a doctor, but like
I thought you were getting ready to say not like a real doctor, and I was like,
No.
ooh, damn.
no, that's not what I meant.
Harsh. Somebody
No.
doesn't believe it. in the
No,
field of
it's-
psychiatry.
Dude, I love dude, I believe more in psychiatric doctors most of the time than regular doctors, but like, especially in this day and age of 2024 where most of the doctors are fucking bonkers anyways, and it doesn't matter what they say because insurance fucks it up anyways. No, the dude is like complete. You know what? The one of the things though that does like throw me off about this movie that's a little bit like you kind of I don't know if it was them trying to throw curveballs down it. They do these weird things where they like have flashback scenes, but don't tell you they're flashback scenes. Like they have the scene with the eyeball guy, where with the orderly, like in the kind of in the middle of the movie, like when they're introducing you to the orderly, and they're like, oh, because you don't. I mean, I think you assume you kind of when the eyeball guy's head gets squished, by the. It was by the wooden statue, right? Like,
Yeah.
because that's the only thing that like could have crushed. It was like,
Well, yeah, because she killed him. You know, Darcy kills him because
Yeah.
she killed him thinking she was getting revenge for her sister.
Mhm.
And that's how, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, obviously she finds out that he was innocent, but yeah, so I'm sure it was the wooden mannequin
Yeah.
that killed him.
also, was that the one who could have like thought of like the Wile E. Coyote when she dies, where she's like,
Oh.
she's-
Falls
they
through the
open
trap door. Yeah.
yeah, they open the
That's
hole in the
funny. I
ground.
didn't think about that. Now that's
Yeah.
all I'm gonna think.
Yeah, it's like-
I will say that part wasn't super predictable for me when it first like came like when he was like, answer the phone,
Yeah.
I definitely forgot about the stupid hole in the floor.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
They
I
did it.
don't know. Yeah.
They did a really good job of like introducing things and like, you know, in the first act and then pulling back in the third act to like kind of
Mhm.
like wrap up because like the bell and
This movie
what
took a long time to get going for me though.
it was only
Like I liked
like
it.
an hour and 30 like 8
I know, and it
minutes.
felt like 2 hour, 2.5 hour
Dude, I
long movie
loved
for
it. I
me.
was totally
I
into
liked it, but the first like 40 minutes of this movie, I was so fucking bored. I mean, I was obviously I was interested,
yeah.
but it took a little bit to get going for me.
So
But
Which
the
is really
back half of this
interesting.
movie to me is really good. Like I
this
really like this.
so
The
this is
back half
my
of the movie.
favorite type of horror is horror that completely relies on your imagination to like, you know, and Ken, we were talking about this before you got on too. The motherfucker who did the soundtrack for this movie like went in and put all these like sub-audible noises in it that you just sit there and you would feel uncomfortable the entire time the score is playing.
Mm.
It's like those noises that make you go, "Oh, there's a Tyrannosaurus Rex like chasing me." You know, some kind of like human sub-nature
You know
like
what's making me uncomfortable right now?
your
The
dog.
fact that my dog has been licking his ass for fucking ever right now. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not.
No, I can't
Thank
hear it,
you,
but
Jesus.
if I could lick my own ass, I might do it. I don't know. I mean,
Dude, he was going to town.
dude, Zelda turned.
Here's
He's all passed out now. He fucking worked himself up into a tizzy.
Here's the interesting thing to me is like usually movies that you guys dive right into, I struggle to get into. And I'm like, man, it took me forever to get into this, or I couldn't get into this. I liked this. I
Yeah,
really did. Like it started out and I was like, this is really interesting. Like, I don't know. And but I like I said before, it was incredibly predictable up until the
Mhm.
orderly.
That might
So
be, yeah, maybe that's
like
part of it for me, but
it could have
yeah,
been because you're introduced to this woman who is doing her supernatural stuff while working on her house because of her sister, and they're talking about how they're connected and all this stuff, and she is killed. And my first thought was something is weird. Why is the husband like there was just something? And then
yeah.
like right after that, as soon as we see the husband walking into the sister's shop, I was like, this guy feels really douchey.
mhm.
And then within like no time, I was like, oh, this motherfucker did it. Like, I don't know
Yeah,
how, but he did
it
it.
was a
And
bit.
then
I'm
boom.
right there with you. It was a bit predictable. It was
You know,
pretty easy to see that he was the real villain.
you know what it
Mhm.
kind of reminded me of? Like he reminded me of Harrison Ford and What Lies Beneath, kind of
What
like
lies
that.
beneath? Yeah.
Yeah, is that what lies beneath the kind of thing? Dude, I'm not right there with you because it was that this movie builds up atmosphere in a way that isn't like it is a slow burn, especially that first like, you know, 45 minutes like Brian was talking about that is like setting up and whatever. And but dude, the camera scares in this fucking movie, the when she fucking goes in and the fucking the dude pops up in that one shot, I was like, ah.
Oh, you're talking about in the tent?
Yeah,
Is
when
that what
she's
you're
like
talking about?
going through the
Yeah.
camera and like it pops up that the orderly was there with that creepy fucking mask, and you're
Yeah.
just like all of a sudden
That
because
fucking mask was awesome.
yeah, and you barely see it. I mean, you
That
barely
was
see it, right?
awesome.
Well, dude,
Yeah.
it's like, man, see, like I don't know how like the beginning of this movie was that scene with her and the dude through the door. Like I almost wish that scene went on longer because it was such a fucking creepy fucking scene. Where we're sitting there like, and you're sitting.
See, here's my problem with that scene. That scene was played in the trailer
Yeah,
for this movie
yeah.
so much that it lost its fucking
See that?
impact with me. So
See, I
when I
don't.
was watching, I was
Yeah,
just like, okay, I've seen this. They shouldn't have put that in the trailer
yeah,
at
Oh,
dude.
I
all.
It's
agree.
That
There's
that
a
that, that scene is ruined for me because of the trailer.
yeah.
And I hate that's why
there's
I hate watching trailers for movies sometimes, man.
yeah,
Like
I don't watch them. There's an
I
AMA that the
do.
director did, and somebody had asked, "Hey there, which scare in Oddity was the most technically, logistically challenging to pull off? The camera flash scare made me jump out of my seat higher than any other scare in recent memory." And he said the double scare with the camera flash was tricky. My editor is incredibly talented and adores horror movies, so he really took what we shot and got the timing down to the right frame. Sometimes it's just the frames that can make or break.
I mean, dude, it's real subtle. I mean, it's like, again, I think that like the less in a horror movie, the more enthralled I get with it. Like I've talked about it in the show lots and lots of times. My favorite movie experiences in a theater for horror movies have been like Blair Witch Project and Paranormal Activity, where it's not anything there, where it's just letting your imagination go to fucking town. And this movie is very much like, especially in that first, I mean, it has various like degrees of it, but like you're sitting there and just like they play this creepy low tone music that just makes you unsettled, and then like shit happens in ways that it's just like, and then like, I mean, you have, obviously it's this mix of like, I mean, why is it Beneath comes to mind so much is like it's that mix of like a serial killer movie with supernatural movie at the same time. Like there's two elements that kind of overlap each other, right? Like it's like someone commits a murder, but there's also supernatural shit on top of it, right? Which is very much what this movie is. And
Yeah.
the sister and her, I mean, it was the same actress, right? It was just like she had that. Once I realized that they were supposed to be twins, I was like, oh, that's just her with a horrible brunette wig on, like the one that the wife that dies at the beginning of the movie. But man, it's just like, dude, she's creepy when she wants to be. Like when she's like, the chick is pulling shit out of the puppet's head, and she's like, put that back. It's like, because it's just all of a sudden like, also, who the fuck, this bitch is just like, oh, I'm gonna fall asleep like sitting up 18 times. She's just like, like at the table and all that shit.
I just like her I like her interaction with with Yana a lot at the table.
Yeah.
That was great. She says, "Do I look stupid?" And he's like, "You sound stupid."
That part was so good.
Well, I mean, it's such a good call out because she's right. She goes, "You do I look stupid?" And she goes, "Bitch, you didn't think about that one at all because you're saying my sister was stupid for letting
right." Yeah.
And it's, dude, that like, man, that is such a cool concept for like a horror movie. Like even that, just that in particular, where like someone comes to your door and like there's someone in your house and you think that, oh, it's this, someone's trying to get in my house. No, bitch, this guy is telling you the fucking truth because he heard your fucking husband through the vents at the psychiatric hospital that he's gonna get you fucking taken out. And if you would have listened to the guy with the creepy eyeball, then maybe you would have been,
To be fair. Yeah. But yeah, it's that I just wish they didn't put that scene in the fucking trailer, man.
Yeah.
Like it's such a bummer because once I got to that part, I was just like, okay, I've seen this already. This is cool.
I don't think
whatever. But
I don't think I'd watch the trailer. I think I watched. Oh, okay. I think I watched Chris Stuckman talk about the movie. Like it was the one thing I'd seen about it. Like, and besides like people texting about, like, writing tweets about it.
Yeah, this is definitely a movie that he would absolutely love.
Yeah, and he did, and I think he does the thing often where he just puts the trailer, but he doesn't have the audio, right? And so it doesn't like it like it's just images basically at that point of him talking over it, and like. Like in that's the thing, right? Like you take that thing where you take a horror movie and you just like kind of like lose it, and it's like for every movie like Barbarian, which does such a perfect job of not ruining anything, and then you have movies like this that show like what is one of the most tense scenes in this entire film in like its entirety, and like you just kind of like, I don't know, it starts losing shit, and it's like fuck, man, because. We'll be real. I mean, I don't. Did you guys think like, what the fuck is up with this guy's eye? Is it something that's like whatever, or is that a fake eyeball? I didn't know at first, and I wasn't sure because I think that was part of the like, what they were trying to keep like that mystery or make him seem like a killer or whatever. But man,
I mean, sorry, it looked like it was supposed to be sort of a dead eye. I feel like the eye itself looked like shit, like, which is why it's killing me that I can't find the budget, because I have dead eye contacts that I paid $24 for both that
Yeah.
he 100% could have worn to have a milky eye.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if they did it like that so that she would have the physical piece. I don't know, because otherwise then, you know, it's just it'd be just an eye, and like how would you fix that? So I guess I
Yes.
kind of get that. But why would they not make it look more realistic when it's being created? Like
Well,
there's a lot that doesn't really make sense with that part. But
I think that it was just supposed to look like a super cheap prosthetic eye. I think that's
Yeah.
what it was supposed to
that
look
makes
like. 'Cause
sense.
it's literally just a circle drawn and a dot on a prosthetic eye. So I think that what they were going for was, yeah, he's got a prosthetic eye, and this hospital gave it to him, but they took so little fucking care. You know, they didn't give enough of a shit at all to give him a decent quality prosthetic eye. I
do like the phrase where they're talking about it, and you know, about his eye, and the sister's like, I would kill to keep to have an
Right.
eye. Like, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Dude, that hospital is so kind of all kinds of fucked up where nothing like registers. Like obviously the dude, the fucking like wooden mannequin came in and crushed this dude's head like a grape. But then like he fucking lets like generic Hannibal Lecter out, and he starts chewing on this guy's toes like it's corn on the cob.
Wooden mannequin killed that guy, not in the hospital.
No, he killed him in the hospital because
No.
No, he didn't kill him in the hospital because he warned her after he got released from the hospital.
Then where the fuck did he? Because I thought that was another patient
Like
that ran across.
like a hotel room, I think, like a cheap hotel room. I thought.
What I took it as, and maybe okay, this is what I took it as, and it could be wrong. He got. I think the murder happened to the sister, and then he had been released.
Oh yeah, it was.
And I think they locked him back up in the.
He was convicted.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the orderly.
No, I'm talking.
No, he was.
Talking about different things.
That was glorious.
I was talking about that too, but it's that weird that like the whole scene with the head being all smashed up is like that's the weird scene where it's like you have to like they show it to you in an order that makes you like go, when the fuck did this happen? Because it's not one of those movies that does like 9 months later kind of things. It's just like they go, oh, this happened 9 months. I mean, and it's the same kind of effect, but like it's very much they were like I think trying to throw you off the thing a lot, because there's a lot of like twists and turns they try to chuck at you for with who did this and what, and yeah, dude, how do you have your little tea shop of horrors that she runs that she just like does appraisals on things? Like there's no like definition in how long like this dude had been married to this woman, but you're sitting there going, oh, was there? Did they say how long?
It was like 5 years or something.
Okay. So if he'd been with that sister for that time, 5 years, wouldn't you have an idea that the sister was a little was her bullshit wasn't completely bullshit, or like
No, he was so arrogant and so caught up in the fact that he knew everything because he was a doctor, and he thought that, you know, she was full of shit and whatever. Like he was so caught up in his own shit that he didn't even care.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree with everything you just said, Ken. Yeah, there's no way that guy would have really because you know why? Because he didn't want to.
No.
You know, he had his own definition of reality, and his reality is the only reality that was reality, and everybody else's reality was all bullshit.
Well, dude, I mean,
you know narcissists, man. Trust me, you know one. I know you know one.
Did you guys predict?
We know the same one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not the only one I know. Let me tell you what.
Right. And I'm sure it's not. No. Yeah.
Did you guys
I
have an idea what was in that box that he got it then? Like
no.
No, but I love what it was.
Yeah.
The box at the very end, or the box that she was toting around?
No, the bell. The bell.
Oh. Yeah, as soon as he took it out, I was like, this motherfucker's gonna ring it, and this bellboy is gonna show up, and I am so ready. And it was funny because I was watching it.
That the bellhop wasn't wasn't Tim Roth from Four Rooms though, because that really would have been like the cherry on top.
It was funny when he pulled it out of the box because I audibly was like, ring it. fucking ring it. Just
Right.
do it. And like normally
Yeah.
I don't do that, but it was so funny because I was just like, ring it, fucking
He's,
ring it.
I mean, he's
Yeah, fuck
such a
this fucking guy.
despicable character. I mean, he's again, that's why like he gives you that Harrison Ford vibes from What Lies Beneath, because you're just sitting there going, they're like, was it What Lies Beneath or What Lies Below, whatever the fuck it's called. But like,
What lies beneath.
yeah, What Lies Beneath. It's that thing where it's just arrogance of like, oh, I'm smart enough to get away with whatever I want, and it's just like,
Yeah.
let's be honest, he does get away with it. He gets away with all of it. Like
But his own hubris brings him down.
yeah, which is,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
Which is ultimately what typically gets to.
Yeah. Well, dude, I wondered. I had wonderings of like if did you either, because I was wondering if either one of you had this thought. Did you think the sister knew that hole was open and like jumped in it on purpose because she felt bad about?
Nah.
No, I don't
Like,
think so at all.
I don't like. I was wondering because I was like, if this bitch knew, she touches that eyeball when he brings it to her, right? And then that point, she knew that she had crushed the head of this motherfucker for like no reason. This guy was completely. It's basically like it's like the beginning of Urban Legend. You know, the Brad Dourif is yelling at the chick in the car, and she's so preoccupied with him being creepy that she doesn't listen to him. And then he gets. It's that same kind of thing, right? Where it's like, oh no, you can. I can't listen to this person because he's gonna kill me when that person's trying to save you. And yeah, it's just like very much like. Dude, I just that scene is so good, and I'm so bummed, Brian, that like you had ruined it for you, you know, so badly. It's just
the door, yeah. Like I said, I mean, it's the irony in it is the trailer. That scene is what made me really want to watch the movie because I was like, ooh, this looks fucking awesome. And then when I got to that sequence, I was like, okay, I've seen this.
Yeah.
And but honestly, at that point, I'm not gonna lie. Like the movie just took for me anyway. It just took a bit to get going, man.
Yeah.
But I will say, like the back half of this movie is baller. I just think it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Man, that's the front half of that movie for me was just kind of a slug to get through, and there was things that kind of attributed to that possibly. So I'll probably watch this again, and hopefully when I watch it again, I have even more of an appreciation for the buildup.
Dude, it's so much atmosphere, man, and I love.
And I will say that I totally agree with you. And there's been a lot of movies that we've talked about this year. And it's just a lot of horror movies in general that have really been fucking heavy on the atmosphere in a really, really good way. You know, I mean, we talked about Longlegs, obviously, is just massive amounts of atmosphere. And then Immaculate had a lot as well.
And the first Omen is like there where it's like
the first Omen did too, there's been some really, really I think atmospheric horror films.
I think Cuckoo was also like that. It's that atmosphere of the it's like the stuff where, and the thing that I think I like about this film over a lot of those that we're talking about, and these are some of my more favorite ones of the year, is that I feel like this for me didn't have as much of a this is only atmosphere for a lot of it. Like I really follow.
There was definitely an engaging story.
In
this that certainly lacked in, well, particularly Longlegs, probably.
Yeah.
Longlegs was really, to me, it was really all about atmosphere and performance.
Yeah.
Which we already talked about. Because to me, I think I described Longlegs as the Joker of horror movies, because that's what the Joker was for me. It was a really, really great performance and a pretty good movie.
Yep.
And that's what Longlegs was. This certainly had more of an engaging story because, I mean, like, albeit a little predictable in that sense, because I just knew the husband did it like very early in the movie. I was just like, dude, this guy fucking killed her, and of course we were right. So it was a little predictable, but it was definitely it kept me invested. You know, I wanted to see this guy get his fucking comeuppance. So
Yeah, I mean
I
they do
love
that.
that phrase.
comeuppance.
Well, dude, it's that thing
Yeah.
where like they have that like they build up all this atmosphere throughout that like that initial scene, and then like the like transition into the new chick and everything like that, and then the sister comes involved, and it's like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? And then like the doll, dude, that doll is fucking. Every time that doll like looks up like funny and shit like that, or moves its
There,
head,
that
it,
is just, and it's so funny because there was two things that made me want to watch this movie: the fucking door sequence and
yeah,
the fucking doll.
yeah,
And I was like, yeah, I gotta watch this shit. What the fuck is that
yeah,
thing? And
yeah.
thankfully, they didn't show that much of the doll in the
Yeah.
trailer of
Well,
the mannequin, the wooden mannequin thing.
yeah. Well, dude,
Thankfully, it
well,
showed that much of there.
that had to have been the one scene with that following her had to have been either the like the highest budget scene in the movie, or it was just like a dude in a suit at that point, and it was so dark they could get away with it. And I'm assuming that's what it was, because the budget of this movie
Probably.
could have been more than like $5 or $6 million, if that. Like it wasn't
God
like
dang, and if it was that much, I still feel bad because it only made like what would you say it made, Ken?
With
1.3 million.
1 point. Sorry, hold please. 1 point. Oh, fuck me.
1 point.
was
Fuck me. Okay, that's a lot of
Yeah,
money.
1.3 in the box office, but that's in box office, and because of streaming services, it's kind of hard to find. I do have a question though. When she was pulling stuff out of the wooden man's head, the SIM card that she pulled,
Was it a SIM
did she
card?
pull,
It
I'm
was.
sorry,
It was like two photos. It was like a tooth and
yeah, there was
a
two
vial of
photos, a
blood?
tooth,
a
a
vial of
vial of
blood.
blood, and a lock of hair.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's.
okay. So she had that from the camera. Okay. I was about to
Yeah.
say, did she pull that from there? And if so, did that break the stuff? But okay.
So I
My bad.
assume the hair was hers to like motive or like control it, like very much like a jinn, like if you know about the like actual like Jewish like jinn legends that would not like Aladdin and like all the shit where it's like more like controllable kind of things, but it's very much like a golem or something like that. Like
Yeah, I was about to say there's information on it that it was like meant to be a golem.
which is very like I think it's Jewish lore, right? I could be wrong, but I think that's where a lot of that originates. Is like
It's Ireland.
yeah. I mean, I knew they
Irish?
were Irish, right?
They are
So
Irish.
yeah,
Yeah.
they were Irish as hell, dude. I mean, there's a lot of Irish like horror.
Did you
As of,
say
like,
they were Irish as hell?
I mean, they were Irish as hell,
He did in
They're
fact
Irish
say
fuck, dude.
they were Irish as hell.
dude. It just makes me laugh
With
because
bells on their shoes and everything. Like, I'm sorry.
all the like, well, you have this movie, and then like the Speak No Evil took place in a little Italian like house like this.
Maybe we should do that because I
Is
still
that-
haven't gotten to see the original.
Let's do both.
I hear that-
Let's do the town that
Can't-
dreaded sundown thingy like we did.
I don't think
with
that's
the
out on-
town that dreaded the last house on the left.
I
I'm not-
can't do both yet
Okay.
until it comes out on
Yeah, digital. So
whatever.
we'll wait. We'll do that when it comes out because I hear the original is pretty dire.
I heard James McAvoy is great in it, but I was just like, well, that's just like saying the sky's blue, dude. Because
Yeah,
pretty much
he's
fucking
so
in it.
great.
Dude,
Yeah.
he gets so fucking yoked in that movie. He's just like, it's like he's like little Batista at this point. Like he's just got like this.
Well, he
neck.
was kind of yoked and split too,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Like I was just very surprised at how beefy he kind of got, like, because he was kind of jacked.
Well, dude,
It
I
was
mean
very
that man started like the first thing I ever saw him in was the fucking Wanted, right? Or it's like he's a nerdy like whatever, and then like
Yeah, Wanted
Yeah.
was so good.
yeah. I
impressive.
mean,
Wanted was
it's
awesome.
the most ridiculous concept ever, but I really
I
enjoyed
don't
it
care.
anyways.
Time
Yeah,
me the fuck up. It was
bend
so
me
cool.
bullets, bend me bullets, motherfucker.
Bend
No,
me
he-
bullets.
I dude, I like so like guys know the director who did Evil Dead Rise is Irish because he has a movie called A Hole in the Ground, which is child
Yes.
horror, which if you've never seen is very good. I really like that movie, but
Well, I have a question though. If he's Irish, then is he Irish as fuck?
I mean,
With bells on his shoes.
I never said bells on his shoes. You guys are putting words
Yeah.
in my mouth about what we call Irish as hell. I'm not calling him a fucking leprechaun, okay? You motherfuckers. You motherfuckers. Motherfuckers. I don't know. I think that the whole concept of having witchcraft being is how many of your kinky fantasy stories involve witches?
I'm gonna tell you, I know the answer to that question. Not enough.
Exactly. Honestly, the one I just finished had a witch in it. Or no, the one I'm reading now has a witch in it, but not enough witches. And my thing for the last few years has been basically an outcry to Hollywood that I want more witch films.
Yeah.
We went through the vampires. We beat vampires with a stick. We beat zombies with a stick. When are we gonna beat witches with a stick?
So
Like,
many
I need
zombies.
witches.
We have Agatha.
We just had Hocus Pocus 2. Okay, calm down. All right.
Oh my god.
We just had Hocus Pocus 2. All right, and we had that wildly pretentious Robert Eggers movie, The Witch.
Dude, the other witch one that Josh and I did on the podcast where it was a mom and her daughter, and the daughter became a witch and just went fucking metal as shit. And I can't even think of the name of that movie, but it was one of those little Shudder ones.
Did you two talk about Gretel and Hansel?
No, we didn't, but that's so good. That is such a good movie. We should talk about that.
That's a witch movie, right?
We should do that next week. That movie is so good. Yes.
See, this is why I'm glad we don't decide to do the movies before we talk about the movie, because this whole conversation led to this, and I think that's a good idea.
Gretel and Hansel is so good.
The trailers for that movie were that was another movie though that just kind of we remember Speak No Evil, where everyone's like, I don't want to see this trailer ever again. That movie's trailer got played for 6 months before it fucking came out, and it was just stop.
Hansel and Gretel, or
no, the Speak No Evil trailer.
No, both of them. I meant both of them. It's both of them.
Gretel and Hansel. Oh, really?
Gretel and Hansel was so good.
But that trailer got played a lot before. That was I remember that trailer, seeing it 6 or 7 times. I swear to fuck. It was
wow.
Every movie before that, for 6 months before it came out, I was like, okay, guys, I get it. Stop it. I don't need to see this again. I just think that witches are a cool thing, because witches are like a lot of
there's so many levels and layers to witches, because you've got your modern day Wiccans and witches, you've got old school witches, you've got the ones that I just stumbled across in my book, which is a cross between there were people that these Volgs, I think is what they're called, that mated with the Fae, and there are some that came out to be good witches, and then there's some that came out to be bad witches, and they've got this whole storyline about iron teeth and all this shit. And then I think we need more witch movies.
I mean, this was a witch movie.
I completely agree.
I mean, this is a witch movie. I mean, it's very much she talks about it she learned witchcraft from her mother or whatever like that, and it's just it's very odd, because it seems like the sister who dies at the beginning is pretty normal compared to the blind sister who runs an oddity shop and hires Pinocchio to be a serial killer, and who also looks makes him. I guess
I too hire golems to do my bidding.
Yeah,
I mean,
because I'm Irish as fuck.
I mean, isn't it? Isn't it hiring? Okay, let's think about it. She put blood in there. That's she's hiring it with blood. Now, shut the fuck up.
Well, she could have hired it with the teeth. She could have hired it with the hair. She could have hired it with the photo.
Man.
Irish as fuck people apparently just need those things.
That poor mannequin, Jin Gollum, whatever the fuck he was he was booking it around the house.
What happens with him now, though? Don't you feel bad a little bit?
Now he probably sits in someone else gets an oddity shop, and he sits there until someone else needs revenge.
She dies. You know, they're both dead.
Everyone died. Every character in this movie dies besides Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, Yana doesn't die.
Yeah, no, Yana leaves.
Oh yeah. She gives it.
She leaves him.
Because
She
she's
gets,
like,
dude, that bitch was so much like, fuck you. She didn't even close the door leaving the house. She's like, fuck you, fuck this fucking house, fuck your dead
Yeah.
wife, fuck everything. And then like, I love it because she's so pissed. She like dumps this guy. So this guy does all this shit for this bitch. And then like kills his wife for her. And then she's like, fuck you. You made me sleep in the creepy house with the creepy who like, I mean, it kind of seems like she was going to go after her, but like, I don't know. I mean, she hid her keys in the box.
I don't think she knew that he did that. Though.
No, it didn't seem like she did. I mean,
she didn't know at all.
She seemed like kind of a cunt, but like not like it, like a violent cunt. I mean, she was like, dude, like the shit.
I mean, that would be really difficult for her. Like, I'm not excusing her, but like she's moved in to the house where her boyfriend's wife was murdered in this house they were building together a year later. Like,
dude,
and then she's definitely not a great person because a blind woman says to her, "I'm hungry. Do you think you could maybe make me something before you leave?" And she's like, "The refrigerator's right there, bitch. Bye." Dude, that's basically what.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like she already had plans. She made it abundantly clear that she had plans, and that is not her responsibility to handle someone else. Like, she made it clear on multiple occasions she had boundaries, and the sister was trying to shop.
You found your way here. You can find your way to the fridge.
Yeah, you showed up here uninvited. You showed up here, and I've got places to go. Good fucking luck. I know that makes me sound really cruel, but in that woman's situation,
kind of a little.
I'm just saying, like, and at that point too, like you said, she found her way there.
Had all of her faculties intact, you would sound completely normal, but she is genuinely missing her vision, and you're just like, bitch, the fridge is there.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Fridge lady.
She knows how, like,
she knows how to walk. She knows how to stick.
She doesn't know the place. Absolutely.
She knows where to poop.
She knows, like. She really should have taken her and guided her to the kitchen and been like, here's the kitchen, here's the fridge, here's the stove. Don't burn down my house.
Here's the fire extinguisher for when you burn the fucking house down.
Like, I'm out, you know, or like, here's some lunch meat. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but I gotta go. Like, I don't know. I have an issue with boundaries like that after years and years of people just showing up and expecting you to like drop what you're doing.
So you heard it here, folks. Blind folks, don't go to Ken for assistance.
Ken is like,
twist my words.
Ken watches Hush and goes, "This bitch in her alarms."
No, Hush was okay. I can see how this. I don't know. Okay, I just felt for Hush was different. Hush was different.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. I'm just saying this woman had plans. She was put in a really shitty situation.
No,
and that's the difference. That's the fucking difference. Hush is a completely different situation.
That was mocking. Different. It was mocking you, not the character. Okay.
I know. I'm just saying. If you want to mock me, I'm just saying it's a completely different situation.
Man,
like, sorry, no, little blind lady.
You're completely right, because they were like, we're not gonna like. The brother was like, the husband was like, I'll take you into town, whatever. And she's like, no, exactly, I want to be here.
She had opportunities.
She did have options, yes.
She showed up uninvited. She had motive, like, to be there.
Correct. Yes, she did stay for a reason, though, obviously. And
yeah, she had plans.
Dude, is it just me, or like she didn't fall far enough to die? It didn't seem like it was
definitely fell hard enough and far enough to like get really injured. I don't think, unless she had something poke through her, I don't think she would have died. But
well, dude, it was her head hit. That was why it was like she was gonna die. Right, yeah, but like, I don't know. Like, dude, that phone call between the fucking dude, the orderly, and the doctor, and he's like, yeah, my phone's broken. And he's talking about her, but not talking about her. You're like, oh, these, I mean, you obviously the therapist knows that this dude's a fucking psychopath. That's why he got him to go kill his fucking wife, right? And he's like, "Oh yeah, my phone's broken. I'm gonna need a new case." No, he didn't say that, but like, it's that thing where it's like, "Damn, son, dude, that was one of the most dastardly deeds I think I've ever seen in like a fucking horror movie." This dude going, "Hey, blind lady, make sure." He could have given her the phone, but obviously then she wouldn't have like gone R. Kelly.
Why would he give her the phone? The whole thing was for her to fall in the hole.
That's what I'm saying. That's
what
I'm saying.
Being nice and being like, "Oh, here's a phone." It was literally like, "What do you mean he would have given her the phone?" Listen,
I said if he wasn't trying to kill her, he could have given her the phone. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, then he's like, dude, that look on his face is just like, oh God, this piece of shit. He's got that look on his face like, she better not answer. She better not answer because I want this bitch to go flying and hit her head. Well, also, that assumes that like that whole house used to be like a barn or something like that they were converting into like, because obviously it's Ireland, so the house could be 1,000 years old, right?
I do like the house though.
I do too. I love that house.
It's gonna be really pretty. Well,
dude,
it was gonna be. I mean, I don't know who's gonna finish it now, but yeah, I love that whole aesthetic of that home. Super pretty.
Yeah.
No,
they're in Ireland, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they're Irish as fuck, so yeah.
They're Irish as fuck. We know that. Rod made that abundantly clear. But they are in Ireland, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I would think so. I want to go to. I've been wanting to go to Ireland for so fucking long.
Do me a favor, go to Ireland, buy a castle, become a lord, and let me come out there like a couple times a year.
He would be Lord Grey
I can
Pubes.
do that.
Lord Grey Pubes. Lord Grey Pubes.
Grey Pubes.
Overseas
Lord
castle.
Grey Bush is what it is. Lord Grey Bush.
I mean, dude, I don't have a bush, so I shaved that shit all off.
I do too. Yeah. I don't have that shit either.
That's millennial energy, okay, and Gen X energy. We just don't have that.
Dude,
no.
I was laughing so hard the other day. It was like some fucking tweet, like some meme going after millennials, and it was like something about having feelings and like giving people shit. And it was like everyone born after 1995. I'm like, bitch, I'm a millennial, and I was like, you're going at the very tail end of millennials and trying to like go after people. Like, come on, man. I'm like, dude, I'm a millennial, and I'm like, I've gone through. That's the thing about the generations and all that shit, right? It's that thing where it's like you lump people in, and it's like, dude, I have more in common, I think, with like Brian's Gen Xers than do with
Gen
like,
X. I
millennials.
relate a lot more to.
Yeah.
Well, it's a sense of maturity, I tell you.
It's that
I mean, it depends on who you surround yourself with, right? Like if you're around someone for an extended period of time, that falls into that.
Yeah, and it just falls into that you are the company you keep kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
that's why Brian is a orderly at a senior citizens home.
Yeah, I will say this, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just a little disappointed that the bellhop wasn't Tim Roth from Four Rooms because that shit.
I've never seen Four.
That would have made the movie.
I don't think I've seen Four.
Oh, you never seen Four Rooms?
Isn't that the one that Quentin Tarantino wrote? One of the. It's like
he wrote the last skit.
Yeah,
it's got sequences that are directed by Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino. I think there's a couple of other ones because it's Four Rooms. There's Four Tales. It's like an anthology movie that takes place at a hotel movie. Antonio Banderas is in it. Bruce Willis is in it.
Isn't VHS Beyond coming out next month?
Yeah, I think so.
Dude, the last couple bit really good. I think I like the first one that came out.
If memory serves me correctly, that is Mike Flanagan's muse. Kate Siegel is directing a sequence on that.
Oh, well, then I'll watch it.
Yeah,
I'm a Flanagan whore,
and I believe my homeboy Jordan Downey is directing a sequence as well as Justin Long.
the man, the
Justin,
myth of legend.
okay, now I'm down for VHS because I have not liked any of the VHSs like for quite a while.
The last two,
And,
you
like,
liked the last
I
ones.
liked segments of the last
Yeah.
couple, but
Yeah, my
if
homeboy Jordan Downey, bro.
listen,
Who
I'm
made-
a Justin Long slut. I'm a Mike Flanagan slut. I love Mike Flanagan's wife. Like I'm for it. Like I'm so for it. I will do that.
He did
Yes.
that really crazy Viking movie that was like that had like. Was he the one who did Thanksgiving too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
Yeah. Thanks.
Dude, I
Killing was so good.
He directed, what the hell was that Viking movie called? It was super short. It's only like 60 minutes, but it's got like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's good.
Dude, it's real good
It's
for
really,
like
really good.
what it is.
But
Like,
it's
with
hard to fuck up a movie that's that short.
I don't know about that. I mean, it's I don't know. I mean,
Oh
it's-
wait, I was thinking of something not Thanksgiving. My bad.
Have you ever seen Thanksgiving?
No, I have not. We should do that this year.
We
It's
did it
called The
already on the
Headhunter.
podcast. We could do it. We could
Oh, well, then never mind.
we could talk about it again. There's actually Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving 3. There's no Thanksgiving.
Yeah, because they skipped this. second
Dude,
one.
3 was bad though. 3 was
Oh, I've heard of Thanksgiving because there was like some kind of weird rights moving around or something, right? Or am I think I'm thinking of something else?
I think
Never
you think
mind.
it's but yeah, he made that, which is one of my favorite bad movie. Like it's intentionally bad because they had no budget.
It's
It was
so
like
funny.
Well,
It's
you-
so fucking funny.
Dude, the gravy flavored condom line and gobble
Let's
gobble
revisit
motherfucker.
it. Well,
Yeah.
because you talked about it with Josh, right?
Maybe we talk about it at Thanksgiving time.
We
then.
could totally revisit that.
Dude, I'm down with it. I would talk about that movie again. I mean, it's that one of those things where you're just like, oh, this movie is wonderful. No, what was that other movie called though? Fuck, man, I can't think of it because I think you guys had him on to talk about it, and
We had the Headhunter. The Headhunter is what it's
Yeah.
called. And we did. We did on the old podcast. He came on and he talked about that, and he talked about his love for the Critters franchise because, like, Critters is his favorite movie of all time.
yeah, he had a Critters like he did a short.
A short film called Bounty Hunter, and it's fucking amazing. You can watch it for free on YouTube.
Yeah,
It's really, really fucking good too.
What-
And it's a shame that nobody was like, "Hey, man, let this guy fucking make a fucking big budget movie."
dude, has he
The
directed
fact that
anything
he-
since Headhunter?
Do what? Well, I think he's done some small, once again, self-funded fan shit.
Yeah.
He's got
self-funded
two coming up, which is VHS Beyond and The Cycle.
Yeah,
Nice.
so
Oh,
hopefully
God, man.
somebody finally, because
Dude.
this guy's fucking talented.
Well, dude,
This kid's fucking talented as hell, and he's super sweet, super fucking nice. He's got a genuine passion for horror and film in general.
dude, Brian, you should get him to come talk to us about when the VHS comes on, and we'll talk to him about his segment. And
I could reach out again, for
Dude,
sure.
I don't get it, man. I don't get like these. I mean, maybe because they wait to do it because we were talking about the substance, right? And her last film was Revenge from like 2017. That's a 7-year gap between
7 years,
films, and it's just like I don't know if you're waiting till like the perfect thing or what, but man, it's just
Probably.
like how does it take so long? I mean, I don't know. You see people like fucking M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong putting out a movie every year, and then like some of these movies.
Yeah, but there's a difference.
I know there's a difference.
Okay?
I know there's a difference, but I'm saying it's that equality of like what it means in Hollywood when you've made some money, right? And like, I don't know.
And Shyamalan just funds most of his shit in nowadays anyway.
Oh, it's because once you fund one of them and it's successful, you have enough money to fund whatever the fuck you
have
want
enough to
until
fund a bunch.
something bombs.
It's really weird because like it doesn't take a lot of money to make a quality
Most horror
movie.
movies,
It
no,
just
yeah.
takes a lot of competence.
Yeah.
Because you can make like, I mean, when they use and Blumhouse is a hit or miss metric to base this on, but they don't spend a lot of money on their movies.
No.
Now, obviously, the quality varies because for every Halloween 2018, there's a fucking what was that shitty one that just came out? Like Night Swim.
Dude,
I like Night Swim.
It wasn't bad, but like their Blumhouse, their hit and miss this year has been bad because they had Night House. They just did that House AI with the guy from Harold and Kumar, and then like
Afraid.
Yeah,
it was called Afraid, right?
Yeah, Afraid, and then like another one. The Imaginary was another one they put out this year that was supposed to be
that was
horrid.
pretty dog shit.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at their.
They do have. I'm just waiting for their game stuff to come out.
Yeah.
And they're doing a great job of like having different styles of
Blumhouse
games.
also did Speak No Evil.
Yeah, that was the one success they've had this year, like the one good one. Yeah.
Let's see here. Blumhouse's productions and this. I'm gonna pull it up because it is very interesting because they've shit out several. Their 2024 films. You're right. Night Swim, Imaginary, and Afraid. All three dog shit. Probably. Well, let's say
Night Swim was okay. It was like it. I think it was me and Ken went and watched it for the podcast, and we're like, we didn't have high expectations. It's not offensively bad. Like, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
we just went
I
in
was
like
so I just didn't care for that movie.
Yeah.
I wish I liked it. I mean,
the thing that I'm looking forward to most from Blumhouse right now is Project C, which is their game that they're doing with Sam Barlow and Brendan Cronenberg.
Yes.
Cronenberg.
And what, you know why I'm excited for it? I have seen nothing.
Yeah,
Nice.
I haven't. Well, because they're not really showing anything.
Yeah,
and then Grave
thankfully.
Seasons.
Yes.
Grave Seasons, I'm gonna love, and Rod's gonna hate because it's a charming pixelated farming and town simulator where, amidst the relationship building and crop harvesting, players must figure out the townsfolk and supernatural serial killer.
What was the one
like
that you
Stardew
already
Valley,
did where you were
right?
like a grave digger? Was
Graveyard
that
Keeper.
Graveyard Keeper?
So
That's what.
fucking
Yeah.
good.
I have Graveyard Keeper, and I started it.
The first time I played it, I did not like it. I could not get into it. Then I played and I used chat and a tutorial and like a layout guide just to kind of like place things correctly. Dropped 120 hours into it. Like I streamed this game for like a month. I was just straight DLCs and all, and I still intentionally have yet to beat it. I accidentally beat it, and I immediately dropped that save scummed, and pieced the fuck out. I love that game. It is so good, so complex. Oh,
yeah. That's the kind of game where I'm like, dude, this is like seems like a job. Game. I'm like, if I want a game where it's a job, I want to be a cop and shooting people in the dicks like RoboCop. That's what I want. Okay. Let's do last words for this, and we'll wrap up. We're doing Hansel and is it Hansel and Gretel?
Gretel and Hansel.
That's the fucking name is backwards.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, they had to because there was that bad Hansel and Gretel movie that I love with Jeremy Renner with Hawkeye in it.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I never watched that one.
Dude, all I know about
it. It's super bad. If you like,
dude, I like that one. Dude, the director that
it's fun. It's fun as fuck.
It's so great because that's the Japanese director who did Versus and stuff.
Yes.
And his whole Japanese catalog is fucking wild. And he did Godzilla 2000, which is or Final Wars. It was like he did a Godzilla movie.
Yeah, he did.
I love that director, and so I
liked Hansel and Gretel with Hawkeye in it, and I can't remember her name, but she played in Voices with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I don't know. I know who you're talking about, but I thought the movie was bad, but in such a fun way. It was
super bad and fucking awesome at the same. It was like so fucking cool.
Okay, Brian,
but,
you're the
you can find
least...
me at the
no shit.
What?
Wrap up what you thought about this, and then we'll go do that.
Oh! I thought you were telling me to do my
Where can go?
thing. Oh, I thought it was fine once you got past the first like 40 minutes of the movie.
Okay,
and then it was very good. It was very good.
Okay,
yeah,
Ken,
I liked it.
Ken, what do you think? One more time.
How you doing?
I really enjoyed it. I felt it was very predictable, but I had a lot of fun with it. And kind of something that I've started doing, because Katz has been watching some of these with me, is if it's not making him squeamish and not too much for him, then it's pretty good gateway stuff.
Yeah.
He only looked away a couple times, and that's usually gore related or whatever. So, I mean, I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. It's not really gateway, just so we're clear. But it's really good. And a lot of people are calling it the scariest movie of the year. I don't agree with that by any stretch of the imagination.
To be completely honest, it's my scariest film of the year. This got to me more than anything. Yeah, it's the environment and the soundtrack. Fucking just
I will
completely.
say the atmosphere and the soundtrack
atmosphere
is
is really good in
phenomenal.
this movie.
And
yeah.
that creeped me out. This movie creeped me out more than anything I've seen this year. Like, and that's like, it might not be my favorite because the Substance. Substance is going to be a hard track.
I have
to,
a
like,
question
knock off
about
of.
the Substance.
Yes.
Did you guys see a lot of previews for the Substance?
Yeah, I mean,
saw
not
a
a lot.
few.
I saw a couple. I
Okay.
think. Yeah, it was
Well,
trailers.
because I don't go to theaters
Yeah.
often anymore, so
Dude.
I didn't see anything about it. And then I heard about it, and everybody was like, "Oh, it's so good." And then I heard nobody saw this, and then I heard it's doing great, and I was like, "I'm so confused."
They started advertising on Twitter this week, last week. I saw ads all over Twitter for it this last week. Nothing before that. Like, I didn't even realize that it officially launched. It was like, but yeah. So I think that's my number one of the year right now because that movie's so fucking crazy. But yeah, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. So, yeah, I really did like this movie because the atmosphere. It was. I thought it didn't. I thought it pulled off what it was doing, and I get what Brian was saying, but I like the slow burn kind of thing of this movie in a lot. So I really, really dug this, and it's up there. It creeped me out more than anything I've seen this year. And that again, so that's just me. But
I'm glad.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, we're gonna do Grenzel,
and Hantel.
Hansel? Do you think they're Irish as fuck?
They're Irish as fuck. No, they're little Polish-looking children, aren't they? They're like little blonde-haired, chubby blonde children in that movie, right?
No.
Okay, Gretel and Hansel next week. Okay, Brian, your shit.
You can find me here and at the We're Gonna Make You Watch podcast. We just recorded an episode. What did we make him watch? We made him watch Terrifier, and it went about as well as could be expected.
Dude.
We are now taking applications for a new person for SWAT.
Okay, I have to know, and I know that this is a potential spoiler for the podcast, but what did he think of the upside down crotch cut?
He got up out of his chair and walked away from the computer. Like he was not down.
Dude, that's why
I genuinely thought we broke him. Like he did not. Well, he surprisingly found something positive to say about the film, but B, unsurprisingly, fucking hated it. Just absolutely hated it.
That first film is not a good movie.
I don't think any of them are, but they get better.
Yeah, I mean the second one I think is significantly better because they actually have a character. Like Sienna's fucking dope, and
yeah,
but it's still like that first one is just. I mean they're both mean spirited, right? But like that first one is just like, there's nothing redeeming. Like and yet it comes out of it like every single character in that movie is either killed or becomes corrupted by art and all that shit, and it's just like, nah, man. I think that the second one is immensely more watchable, and it's more of a like I think what you want to do.
Well, they actually really establish a little bit of lore.
Yeah,
you know, they flesh out the universe in the second one, and the first one is pretty much just kind of here it is. This is what it is. It's just a gore fest, and that's not what he's down for. The next movie we are making him watch is a classic. We're forcing him to watch the original Halloween.
Nice. He's never seen Halloween.
No.
Jesus Christ, dude.
He's seen Halloween, the David Gordon Green one from 2018. Okay. But he's never seen any of the others.
So. Man, I will never not laugh at the art scene and the cleanup at the beginning of the second one where he's like sitting there naked with the newspaper and going like playing patty cake with it.
Yeah.
I don't know why that sounds like a good time though. Like, dude, if he doesn't like Halloween is if you're into horror at all or even not, Halloween is a fucking good entry level horror. There's no blood in the fucking movie. It's just like it's like that tiny bit in the beginning, right? And that's about all. And so it's like
there's really not much.
You get some boobies and then Michael Myers running around like Captain Kirk running around after Jamie Lee Curtis for
pale Captain Kirk.
Yeah. Okay, Ken, your stuff.
Hi.
Who is this?
I've done it. My name is Continue. It's KINTINUE, and you can find me all over the place. That is a new social media. No, it's not. But you can find me on Twitch or Twitter. Instagram is official Continue. TikTok is Continue. Blah blah blah. I stream every day except for Saturday. I do have my annual vacation coming up at the end of October. And yeah, I'm playing through Satisfactory right now, and I'm sure I'll still be playing when this comes out. Come watch me bash my head into a wall while I figure out automation for a space company that hates me.
Dude, I was watching my buddy Peachy Pixelate playing that, and he's like, "This is math," and he's sitting there trying to do math of what he needs. I'm like, "You guys are doing this on purpose to yourself. Why do you want your brain to hurt like this?" I don't know. My brain hurts in real life. So, okay. I'm Rod. I'm Rod_Johnston on Twitch and Twitter and all those places. So come find me there. Buy my book, which is The Death and Rebirth of a Human Heart, which you can find on Amazon. And all that stuff. And we're coming back next week. And go to murderous.com and buy gear. And we're coming back next week for Gretel and Hansel. Oh, yeah. So let's eat the children like little sausages. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, weird.
Love you guys, and we'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.
My German is brilliant. What are you talking about?